Life. Television's new kind of program is brought to you every week at this same time by Hazel Bishop No Smear Lipstick, America's largest selling lipstick.
Santa Claus is on his way with gifts and Christmas cheer. And Hazel Bishop heads the list. This lipstick will not smear. U-E-K-I-S-S, kissable, your life will be more blissable. Your kisses more permissible, 'cause you're a Hazel Bishop girl.
And now here's Ralph Edwards himself. Well, how do you like that? How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Hello, everyone, and a happy holiday to you all. Clear across the nation, wherever you are, and to all you wonderful people here at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. Oh, we're going to have fun on our Christmas show. Greetings from Hazel Bishop No Smear Lipstick. Now, in this joyous season, we bring you a life now that will have a happy and unexpected climax here in Hollywood. And it's beginning over 50 years ago in a remote little hamlet more than 1,000 miles away as old Santa's reindeer fly. It's Christmas Eve, 1901. There's a blacksmith shop in this town of less than 100 souls. But tonight, the forge is dark, and the village blacksmith, like his neighbors, is with his little family, awaiting the arrival of St. Nick. Yes, the town is Monowee, Nebraska, and cradled in her mother's arms is the blacksmith's 3-week-old daughter, Ruth Eiler of Monowee, Nebraska. This is your life, Mrs. Eiler. How are you? Thrilled? Excited? Don't be frightened. Hang on to me. I'm shaking more than you are. Ah, yes. Now, do you understand what we're talking about here? The This Is Your Life program?
I think I do, but I don't see why.
You don't see why. You will before the program's over. How did we choose you? Why did we choose you to be our honored guest? We'll tell you why. You are our story of Christmas, Mrs. Ruth Eiler. You were tricked into coming to California from Nebraska. We'll have to confess that. You know, your daughter Fern said that she was so lonely she couldn't spend another Christmas without you, eh? And your sister and brother-in-law just had to make a trip, just happened to have to come to California this time.
Right.
Says, why don't you come along? We needed something we knew, something very powerful to uproot you from your loved family at this Christmas time. But as your past unfolds on our stage tonight, Mrs. Eiler, I don't know, we hope you'll find your way clear to forgive us for this little deception, all right? Come on with me, Mrs. Eiler, to the Monowee of your childhood, your marriage, and the birth of your 9 children. Shall we go? Come on up. Oh, me. The town hasn't changed much. The town hasn't changed much in all these years, has it, Mrs. Eiler? But it's 1901 now, and this could almost be the parlor of any Nebraska farm. Couldn't it, hey? Yes. All right, of your parents' little home, maybe, in Monowee. Well, just sit right down here. Let's say it's the composite of all the little parlors you've ever lived in on here, may I present you with a handkerchief I especially brought for this occasion? All the little farms in northern Nebraska and Michigan and South Dakota and Louisiana that you have lived in. They're watching, yes, coast to coast. That's it. Well, some of your children have grown up, of course, haven't they? Yes, many of them have moved away. 3 of them are in the country's military service right now. All 3 of them overseas. 3 of those sons, as I say, are overseas. Well, as it is for many another American mother tonight, this is your life. Well, let's get on here. This is your first Christmas, Ruth Eiler. You're 3 weeks old. Look through the window there, Mrs. Eiler. The snow here over here. Right over here to your right, my dear. The snow-covered Nebraska prairies, a familiar sight to you, isn't it? Huh? Yes. There's a man passing by, coming to the house. Did you recognize him, Miss Eiler? Well, who is it? Dad, the village blacksmith here in 1901, your father, Mr. Ed Kapke, now of San Diego, California. And here he is. I think we really surprised this lovely daughter of yours. Say, pretty cold winters back there in northern Nebraska, eh, Mr. Kopke?
Yes, sir.
Did you want Ruth to sit down? Is that it?
Especially in 1901.
1901. Is that when Ruth was born?
Yes, sir.
Was it a particularly bad one that
It
year?
was a blizzard,
Yeah?
and the doctor didn't get there until almost too late.
Oh, yeah?
He did get there.
He did get there in time. Well, that's good. He didn't miss his appointment with the stork, did he?
No, sir.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, make yourself at home there, Mr. Kopke, and we'll see you a little later. We'll follow your daughter, Ruth, through her childhood. 1904, 1907, 1910. A happy childhood with your three sisters, Lillian, Florence, and Mary. Yes, you can remember them. There were rides in the family Model T, church socials at the Methodist Church in Monowai, skating on Ponca Creek in wintertime, tobogganing down the hill behind old District 79 school. You remember all that, Miss Eiler? I'll bet you do. Well, let's read on through the book. It's 1916 now. 1916, Ruth Eiler, though you're Ruth Kopke here in Oretta, Louisiana. Yes, where the family's now living. How big a place is Oretta?
Very small.
Well, look at the window there. Are we in Oretta?
Well, it could be very easily.
Yes, well, it is. It's the picture. You're 15 years old. You have a very dear girlfriend here. Can you remember her name? What is her name? Lily Garrett, huh? And you were kind of sweet on her brother, weren't you? Doug Garrett? Now, fess up. Fess up, or a lot of research has gone for nothing. Huh?
The other way around.
Oh, possibly the other way around. How do you like these women?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, that's what it says in the book of your life here, and the book isn't wrong very often.
Wonder they bad and they never made up.
They did. Now, who's that, Mrs. Eiler? Telling tales out of school. Your childhood friend whom you haven't seen in how many years? 35 years at least. 35 years. Lily Garren, now Mrs. Blewett Ashworth of Kinder, Louisiana. Come in, please. Here she is. Oh, my. 35 years. My goodness. Now, what about this?
Oh, it don't seem so long.
What about this difference of opinion between your brother Doug and Ruth here, Mrs. Ashworth? I want to get the dope here.
Oh, well, I guess we just didn't know what to do. We went to school together, and we went to those little parties like Halloween and Christmas. Yeah, and you were a mighty pretty girl, and Doug got going with you, and then he carried another girl to a party, and so you didn't like it very well. So they had us fat, and then he tried to make up to you, and you didn't want no part of it. I didn't realize
That's it. Tell us here, Lily. Tell us.
I didn't realize it all.
Well, does your husband know about all this?
Oh, I think he does.
Yeah, well, it's all right, of course. We've all had childhood sweethearts. I wonder what would happen if you saw Doug now after 35 years.
He wouldn't know me any more than I would know him.
What, dear? What?
He wouldn't know me any more than I
Well,
do.
now come in, Ruth. Throwing his hat in first. Doug Garren of DeQuincy, Louisiana.
You mad at me, Ruth? Well, I hope not. I came here to make up with you. Huh?
What'd you do, Doug?
I came all the way here to make up with it.
Well, good for
We'll
you.
have to say it a little bit sooner.
You weren't really mad at him, were you?
No, I didn't
No.
realize.
No, that was a long time ago anyhow, down in the Cajun country in the Evangeline section of Louisiana. Well, you're all happily married now and good friends. And Hazel Bishop is more than happy to bring you together again during this Christmas season.
I want
What'd
you
you
to
say?
meet my wife.
Oh,
Yes, he has his wife with him, wants you to meet him, the whole deal. All right, you just go along. See you later, you bet. The Christmas Eve party. This is your life, Mrs. Ruth Eiler of Monowai, Nebraska. You think this is a surprise? Well, you see what we have in store for you. Are you surprised?
that last week we watched in the radio, but or in the television.
Television, did you watch This Is Your Life last week? Good. But first now, I'd like to say, you just catch your breath, because I'd like to say thanks to you folks out there. Now, this is the most wonderful Christmas I've ever had, and I mean that because you've shown how much you enjoy This Is Your Life on television. And our sponsor's mighty happy too, eh? That's hi, gang, because of the way you've made Hazel Bishop No Smear Lipstick America's largest selling lipstick by a greater margin than ever. But I know Bonnie King can say it with music much better than I. Okay, Bonnie?
Sing it.
There's nothing like this Christmas time to fill your heart with cheer. With Hazel Bishop lipstick on you kiss, but it won't smear. It's the lipstick of the year.
Real wonderful, Bonnie. I think I've got something I can sing pretty badly. Hit it, boys.
Mr. Warren!
Listen to the jingle bells ring gay as Christmas news. It's Hazel Bishop lipstick that smart Santas always choose. Jeweled lipsticks, it's the gift you'll always use.
You made it, kid. Good boy.
Can I try one?
Why, Anita Louise, you bet, darling.
Thank Hazel Bishop also for that natural unrouged look. Complexion glow will never show best if you ever took.
Good.
Yes, complexion glow always looks natural, never looks rude.
Very good. Now it's your turn, Ralph.
My turn, eh? Well, we'll give it a whirl. Music, maestro. This is your life is grateful for what Hazel Bishop's done. No lipstick smear, no painted look. It's fun for everyone. Oh! See what I mean? No lipstick smears, eh? All right, everybody, all together.
You have all the luck.
Keep K-I-S-S visible, your life will be more visible, your kisses more permissible, 'cause you're a Hazel Bishop girl. Oh, I'm proud of you. Oh, man, we got through. I want to tell you, how are you doing after all that singing here? Oh, bless your heart. We're back in your living room. This is your life, Mrs. Ruth Eiler of Monowai, Nebraska, and there'll be plenty of Hazel Bishop jewel lipstick under your Christmas tree, enough for all the family when we get through here and your friends. But now it's time to leave Oretta, Louisiana, and return to Monowai. 1917, you're home for Christmas, home in Monowai, right? Yes. You're 16, and you're back at District 79 school in Miss Edith Whitwer's room, you remember? Yeah. The girl you walk home from school with, the girl who goes to skating parties with you on Ponca Creek and to swimming parties in the summer, the girl you confide in. Who are you looking for? What?
This is Nellie Gardner. May I come in, Ruth?
Nellie Gardner. Do you want to see her? Sure. You've seen her only once and then only for 5 minutes in 27 years. She's now Mrs. Glenn Condon of Oakland, California. This is 1917. Come in, Nellie Gardner, your old school friend. Oh, look. Give her a hug. Oh,
Thought
my.
of you often through the years.
Yes, you've thought about Nellie, too, haven't you, Miss Eiler? I'll bet.
You remember our wonderful old church social and our Christmas Eves in church? We'd have a Christmas tree all decorated with cranberries and popcorn, tinsel and candles.
Presents for all the
Yeah, we'd go up to Santa Claus and he'd give us a little red stocking with walnuts and candy in it. Then he'd say,
a little doll.
that's right. And then we'd say good night and a Merry Christmas to all, and we'd just sit there until the jingle of the sleigh bells died away. It was truly wonderful, wasn't it?
What'd you say?
Sometimes it'd come in through the window.
Come in through the windows.
yes.
Well, maybe something like that happened tonight. You can't tell there.
It was really wonderful.
Did Ruth have any boyfriends here in Monowai? We found
Well-
one in Kinder. Any in Monowai?
She had one serious one. Here's a picture of them taken before they were married.
Oh, George Eiler, huh?
Uh-huh, George
A
Eiler.
picture of Ruth and George before they were married. What do you know? What'd you say?
You'd be surprised.
Handsome young couple, eh, Mrs. Eiler? Well, thank you, Mrs. Condon, for these memorable
See you later,
moments.
Ruth.
Bet. Oh, what does your husband do now back there in Monowai?
She isn't able to do very much now.
What there? Talk a little louder so we...
He mostly just does odd work now as he can.
I see. Well, I don't know. I want you... Now, of course, you're postmistress at the depot, eh? And he helps there with the freight and all. Well, look out the window... Pardon me?
And in the house.
And in the house. Good for you. You have him trained nicely. I can see that. Well, look out the window again, Mrs. Eiler, will you? Now, isn't that the depot in Monowai? Huh?
Yes.
Where you have your post office and where you live? Huh? Yes. Well, is that your husband passing by? My goodness, what's he doing here? do you suppose? Who's taking... For... Well... Well... What about you? Haven't missed a Christmas together, have you?
No, we never missed a Christmas.
No. I know you want to know about the children. What'd you say?
Where's the children?
Where's the children? I thought we thought
Well,
that'd be...
I brought Jimmy and Dale with me.
Oh, is that Jimmy and...
Merry Christmas, Mom!
What do you know? Oh, they sure are. The whole gang here. Well, do these boys resemble any of your three boys overseas?
Yes.
Which one?
This one is more like Jimmy, or like Jimmy is more like Rudy,
I see. Well, now, tell you what.
like the other boys.
Like the
Dale and Keith.
Yes. Well, now, Mr. Eiler, you take the boys, let them sit back there in Mother's past, and you join Mother here on the settee. Hey, come on, you're definitely a part of the life right here, while we turn another page of Mrs. Eiler's calendar. Well, it's 1990 now. The first of your 9 children is born. Fern. She's now Mrs. Carl Maxwell of Southgate, California, the one who helped us out with all this. And here she is.
Oh, Mom.
Yes. Here's the poor little lonesome girl who couldn't spend another Christmas without her mommy. But it was worth coming, wasn't it, hey? Now, you have 2 children of your own, don't you, Fern?
Yes, I have Gary Lee, 9.
Gary Lee?
Merry Christmas, Grandma.
Well, give her a hug there, boy. Who else?
Kathleen Joyce, she's 6 now.
Kathleen Joyce. Where's that little doll? Oh, yes. Well, isn't she a lovely grandma? And what a surprise. Well, Fern, since you're the eldest of the Eiler children, you can tell us about the others now.
Well, after me, there's Keith. He was born in November of 1920
In Monowai?
in Monowai, that's correct.
And where is Keith now, Mrs.
He's in Korea.
In Korea. All right. He's a graduate of West Point, isn't he?
That's right.
And served valiantly in the European theater in the Second World War. Who's next, Fern?
Faye comes next. She was born on Christmas Day in 1923.
Oh, well, my goodness, a real Christmas present. If I ever... She was a Christmas present to you once, so I guess she can be again. From a farm near Monowai, daughter Faye and her 3 children. Come on in. Here's Grandma. Here you are, Buster. Come on up and say hello to Grandma here. Give her a big hug. Get a load of the kisser on this boy here, will you? Is he happy to see Grandma? What's your name, partner? What is it? Mikey, okay. Well, that's good. Well, if this keeps up, we'll have to hire a hall, I guess. Sit down, Mother. You stand right there by Grandmother. Well, let's see now. Who came after Faye?
Edna came after me. She was born on the sheep ranch north of Monowai in 1926.
And she's Mrs. Zock now of Monowai and has 3 children. Is that right? Well, let's get them out. Here she comes. Oh, here's a fella you missed, Grandma. That's it. Let's see them all. Hey, turn around here. There's one under here if we can get him. Here. Hi there. Say, give Grandma a big hug. Gee, just think, these kiddies coming out on an airplane and everything. Did you have a nice trip? What's your name? Wesley. Oh, that's real fine. Did I say a hall? We'll need an auditorium if this continues there. Well, mommies and kiddies, find seats there somewhere if you can, because we still have years to cover in the life of Mrs. Ruth Eiler. 1928. Your husband George is working with the bridge crew on the railroad. On July 14th, your son Donald is born in Monowai. Where is Don now, Mrs. Eiler?
In England.
I can't hear you.
In England.
He's in England. He's a staff sergeant in the Air Force there, a long way from home. Well, these were hard times for the Eiler family in 1928, but you didn't give up, did you? No, the older kids pitched in to help. Isn't that right, Dad?
That's right.
By Dad, that's what they've been calling you around here all this afternoon. We get so we feel we know the family. Soon the farm began to prosper. It's 1932, and things look brighter for the Eilers. You've moved to a larger farm, and here son Rudolph is born October 22nd. Isn't that right? He's in the service, too, isn't he, Mrs. Eiler? Where?
In France.
He's in France. There.
With the Air Force.
You're with the Air Force, Airman Second Class. Your boys are doing their duty in almost every corner of the world. In the winter of 1934, you have another addition to your family, daughter Ruth. What do you call her? Susie, huh? Susie, as you call her, yes. She is. Oh, my. Hello, Susie. My, I think we've really thrilled Mother, eh? Yeah, there are the kids. Oh, here we go. Listen, what do you do now, Susie?
I teach school over in Polk County.
You do? Gee, I'd like to be one of your students there. What grade do you teach?
I teach them all.
You teach them all. I see. What is it, 1 or 2 rooms, something like that?
No, I have 7 pupils in 6th grade. I mean, yeah.
7 pupils in 6 grades. One guy's left over twice or something like that, I guess. Well, are you married?
No, not yet, but I'm going to be Monday.
Monday? Oh, boy, congratulations. Who's the lucky fellow?
Dick Courtney from
Who?
Lynn. Dick Courtney from Lynn.
Well, congratulations to both of you. That's wonderful. Oh, gee. Well, when were all your children together last, Mrs. Eiler? I've been meaning to ask you that. Must be 4 years at least, isn't it?
Yes.
What'd you say, Mr. Eiler?
We had a family group taken when we, but I don't remember, that's about 4 years ago.
About 48, I think. Well, of course, they're all here now. All that is, except your mother, who passed away in 1936, and sons Keith and Don and Rudy, whom you say are overseas. Now, wouldn't it be wonderful if even just one of them could be here for Christmas?
Oh, it would be wonderful.
Wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Come with me, Mrs. Eiler, into the magic of the night. Who knows what lucky star may guide a soldier home for Christmas? I want you to look out there in the darkness. Look up here, my dear. Isn't there a light taking shape? Now look carefully, and you'll see that this is Paris. Huh? You watch. Yep, that's Paris. Now, the Eiffel Tower, yes.
Well, Mom, looks like I'm coming home for Christmas.
Whose voice is
Merry
that?
Christmas.
Huh? Yes, coming home for Christmas all the way from France, your son Rudy. He looks fine. Now hold on to your soldier son. Bring him over here, Mother. Come on. How was the flight? All right, Rudy?
It was swell.
That's good. That's fine. Now look again into the night. You're looking at London now. And at your son, Don. Don, stick around here, boy. Wonderful to see Mom. How long has it been since you've seen Mother?
It's been a while.
Yes, a couple of years or more. You're married over in England now.
Yes, sir.
And what's the surprise?
Well, my wife is going to have a baby, and she couldn't accompany me.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. Wife's going to have a baby, as you know, and couldn't come. Well, what's Christmas to a mother without her children? So look into the darkness once again, Mother Eiler. From the battlefields of Korea, from the punch bowl, your son, Major Keith Eiler, home from Korea. Hello, Major.
Oh,
Good to see you. How was your trip, Major?
It was fine.
Keith,
Nice flight.
you went through a lot of stuff to get here, didn't you?
Yes, it was a long way to come.
Certainly was, and a lot of letters had to be written, and God bless the U.S. government and a lot of other people, especially yourself, for seeing that you got here. Keith is in the real active part of the Korean battlefields right now. What do they call it? The punch bowl.
The punch bowl area, right?
Well, we know you're going to have a wonderful get-together. My 3 just handsome sons, aren't they? A glorious family, ladies and gentlemen. Well, now take your sons into the house Gather around the Christmas tree because the rest of the people do not know that the boys were coming. Come over and say hello to them. Come on, folks. Say hello to the whole gang here. There they are. Come here, Mother. How are you? Get around the Christmas tree. Yeah, here's Dad. You didn't know they were coming, did you? We kept this a surprise from everybody. Turn around here, sir. Atta boy. Where are you, Mother? I can't find you in this melee. Oh, come over here, my dear. Well, you wondered why. This is your life. Look around you and you have your answer. In your family, in rich years and in poor. Under the scorching summer sun and in the face of Nebraska's worst winter storms, your eyes have been clear, your head erect, and your heart high. We reverently salute you, Mrs. Ruth Eiler of Monowai, Nebraska. And through you, we pay tribute to all you American mothers, wherever you are tonight. There you are. Now, your future, like your past, is with your family and your friends, whom Hazel Bishop has brought here from the four corners of the earth. And that's for sure. Major, get up here, Keith. You came from Korea, stand by. Our boy from London, from France. Gather around. Dad, get in here. Now, so that you could all be together during this Christmas season. Now, they were all flown here to Hollywood via luxurious 300-mile-an-hour TWA Transworld Airlines Constellation, the airline that features a special thrift service to Europe and Sky Tourist service in the United States, as well as regular fare and luxury TWA Ambassador service here and abroad. All your family have accommodations at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. That's where we've been hiding them out at the wonderful Hollywood Roosevelt, except for these boys who we stashed somewhere else. Yes, indeed. And so that your life story will be with you always, Hazel Bishop will present to you a 16-millimeter sound film of this program and a wonderful new Movie Mite 16-millimeter projector. The new Movie Mite can be set up in your home in 3 minutes and gives you high-fidelity sound and picture. Now, you can have movies you see at home with your Movie Mite and show this film over, although this is for real right now. Now, in lasting memory of this evening, we want you to accept a pin that we have for you, which makes you a member of one of the most exclusive clubs in America, the membership of which is composed only of the people who've been our honored guests on This Is Your Life. Well, that's your past, your present, your future. Yes, this is your life, and I give it back into your hands now, with the best wishes of all of us. Gather around the tree there, kids. There are presents for all of you. Hazel Bishop has helped Fern with a big party for you, a big Christmas party and everything. Christmas Eve and then tomorrow, the big turkey, the whole deal. Have fun. So long. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Oh, how much time do we have left, Anita?
Just enough time for me to give you something from the millions of people who love you.
Oh?
From the more than 100,000 retailers who feature Hazel Bishop No Smear Lipstick and Complexion Glow.
Well, what's that, Anita?
A great big Christmas kiss.
Oh, gee, Willikers. Boy, thanks, Anita. No one ever had a more wonderful sponsor. And far be it from me to get commercial at this point, but look, no lipstick smear, huh?
Merry, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Ralph.
Merry Christmas, Anita. Gather around your family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, around your television set again next week. Won't you be sure, when This Is Your Life brings you what we think will be the most thrilling and unusual New Year's Eve show you've ever seen. Until then, happy holidays to all of you from Hazel Bishop No Smear Lipstick. Merry Christmas.
This Is Your Life is directed by Axel Gruenberg, produced by Alfred Pascal and Axel Gruenberg for Ralph Edwards. And again next week, This Is Your Life, starring Ralph Edwards. And this is Bob Warren speaking for Hazel Bishop No Smear Lipstick and wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas, a happy...